Hello Sparkle Squad, this is Monica and I have got a tutorial coming to you using supplies from my friends at BeeBeeCraft.com. Today I'm going to be organizing my ear wires, and then I will also be making some owl earrings using the little charms that I got. And you can see I have tried to separate them out by the gemstone color bead in the belly of the owl. And I have several of the tiger's eye, the sodalite, the amethyst, the aventurine, and then what I believe is the lava stone. Now I still have several left in the bag over here, but those are the colors overall that I'm seeing. I got a bright blue, which I think might be still the sodalite. So they have the ball pins through the center of the owl, which has got the hollow belly, and the gemstone bead. It's a ball pin, so you can see that tip right there, the little ball tip. Then they just have a simple loop at the top. This loop is going to cause the owl to just have free movement. If you want this owl to always be front facing and not be moving around, you really need to have a wrapped loop. But I am fine with just having the simple loop and putting this directly onto one of my ear wires here. So that is a very simple tutorial. If you just want to make simple earrings, you've got a ton of these different owls. I believe there's 100 in that bag. So provided that you've got the equal coloring, then you can make at least 50 pairs of earrings just based on that bag of these owl charms. Now in my little container here, I took the baggies that they had where I had some of the gold plated and some of the silver plated of the ear wires. Went ahead and opened up those baggies along with the baggie of the different style of the ear wire backing. So you can see I've got these little short barrel style of the ear backings that I already had, but these that came with the kit, the traditional style there. It kind of looks like a little bell. A lot of people prefer these barrel style because they don't tend to discolor as quickly over time. This bell style, for whatever reason, I guess it just depends on what type of material that they're using, will yellow quicker than the barrel style. So when I purchased these, I just go ahead and stick with the barrel style. But we're going to test that out and see how that lasts here in my container. And then I opened up the baggies of the ear wires themselves. So there's the gold plated on either side here. I've got some of the silver plated right here. And then I already had some silver plated. And this is just like a ball style of the fish hook. And then the rest of them have the springs inside. Then I had some left over of the other color ear wires. And then I also have some sterling silver ear. I have the tiger's eye in the brown color. I'm just going to go ahead and open up an ear wire. So I like to just pull it up towards myself so that I'm essentially opening the door, is what I like to call it. And then even though it's not going to matter because this is a simple loop and it's going to move around on me, I'm going to put the owl facing away from me because that is how the loop of the ear wire is facing away from me, and that's what everybody's going to see coming out of a person's ear. So for the moment it will be front facing. Then I'm going to close that back down, and if there's any kind of a gap there, you can always come over and give it just a tiniest of a little squeeze. You don't want to destroy the integrity of that loop because one, it'll look misshapen, and two, you might break the metal there. I've got this little owl on an ear wire, and because I have it this way right now, it looks like it's going to be front facing. But as a person moves around and whatever, this has the free movement like I showed you earlier. But if you want it to always stay front facing like this, you're going to want to remove this loop here and then make it on like a wrapped loop instead. So I may actually show that in this tutorial as well. There is the brown tiger's eye, and this one is kind of like a little dull, whereas the other ones have that chatoyancy. Okay, so here is the other ear wire, and I like to just open these up upside down so that I can see which way my ear wire opens, and it looks like it's coming this way. You see the slit right here, and then I want to pull up on this side because that's the one that is cut and I can move freely. And then I'm going to pop my little owl on. Now I need to close that back so my owl doesn't flop right back off, and make sure I don't have any gap. I want to give it a squeeze. I don't need to give it a squeeze this way because it looks like it's right on it. And so now when I hold it, I'm looking at the owl a little bit odd, so I'm just going to turn it around, and you can see it's now front facing. So I'm going to make this amethyst pair, but because I'm going to do the wrapped loop, I'm going to go ahead and cut this simple loop apart, which means I'm going to pull out the bottom portion of the ball pin that was already in there holding that bead in the little belly. I already have some of the other ball pins that I had in my stash. I'm going to try this since I'm still lined up. Oh, it worked. So I went ahead and kept that bead there in the center without letting the bead fall out. So it was very easy for me to go ahead and stick my new ball pin in there. And all I have to do now, because I have this big tail, is make a wrapped loop so that I can keep the owl facing the direction that I want. Now, if you want to add a little bead up here so that you have a little bit of raised area aside from these ears, you can just pop a little seed bead on there. If you want some color, you can do that. I'm actually going to pop that seed bead on because I got a ton of those seed beads left over, and then that's going to make it easier for me to have a stopping point against that bead there. So I need to get my round nose pliers so that I can make my loop. I'm going to come right here, and about 1/4 of the way down my plier, I'm going to push that over, make a 90-degree bend, raise that up, come up, over, and down. Now I've got like a little question mark in my loop. I'm going to put that back on. I don't typically like to take that completely out whenever I do this. I'm just showing you how I'm repositioning. I'm going to move over to my left hand so that I can grab the tail with my right hand. And then I am actually letting it hug that bottom jaw of the plier. Now I'm going to use my bent nose pliers here, grab the tail of this ball pin, and then I'm just going to wrap around the neck. Try to keep this as close as I can as far as a coil, but now you might have to reposition yourself if you're finding that you're having a little bit of an issue trying to hang on to this thing, which I apparently am doing. So I'm just wanting to get right here. And then I'm going to come over here and start squeezing because I had a little bit of a wild loop since I couldn't keep hold of that wire for whatever reason. I like to make a tight wrap. I don't like those messy wraps, but whatever you prefer. I think I'm good. So now, if you see, there's no like loosey-goosiness of the owl. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off right about here with my flush cutters so that this no longer wants to lay on top of my seed bead, which could potentially break the glass if I do that. So actually I need to come in there just a little bit more and put this back on too. All the way around. I don't want to break my seed bead, so that's what I'm trying to watch out for right here. And as I go around that stem, it's helping to cinch that up. So now I have the wrapped loop here, and my owl doesn't want to move around the ear wire. So I didn't do as great of a job on this one because, as you can see right here, I kind of went a little loopy when I first pulled that around. So I may just redo that, but that's the premise of it, so that you can keep on your ear wire without having to worry that it's going to get loosey-goosey. Open this ear wire up, and just like we did on the simple loop, I'm going to put this facing that way, you know, like it would out of my ear here. I'm going to close this loop, make sure that it's meeting and it doesn't overlap in any way. And then when I hold this up, you can see the front of the owl is facing me. But if I actually hang on to the loop like I did before, and I hit the owl, it's not spinning around on that head pin. So I like it better this way, because then when you give this to someone, they don't have to constantly wrestle with the fact that the owl may be backwards whenever somebody's looking at their earring, and they don't have to constantly be adjusting that. So I'm going to make another one of those and try to do a little bit better job when I'm doing my wrapped loop, and that will make 2 different types of earrings. About 1/4 of an inch down, and I'm right up against that seed bead. I'm going to push over to make that 90-degree bend. Then I'm going to go up vertically and then pull my tail up, over, and down. And then I'm going to remove that, put this onto the bottom of my plier. And I'm trying to stay on that same point of the plier, because that way my loop will stay the same and it won't become weeble wobble or wonky. I don't want to widen it up because I do kind of like this particular size. Now I have just relayed raced it, so to speak, to move it over to my other hand so that I can pull this tail, and then that just hugs the plier. I'm going to use my trusty bent nose pliers, and this time when I come around there which is not what I did the first time, and it caused me a little bit of an issue. I want to make sure that I stay like side by side as I'm making the coil going around that stem. So there was a little bit better scenario. And so now I'm going to go over here on this side where it started wanting to lay on top of the wire, because we don't want that to happen. And then I'm going to put this back onto my round nose pliers and come around here to start trying to push that into the nook to finish that wire off. And try not to break the seed bead. I like to have my little coils front facing too. It's just a personal pet peeve of mine if I don't. Okay, then I just need to get another ear wire and open this up. Put the owl facing away from me because that's how the ear wire is facing. Close the door back, make sure I don't have any gap. Both owls are front facing, so you can see the difference in having the seed beads with the wrapped loops versus just going ahead and putting this on there loosey-goosey with the simple loop. Both of them are still a good option as far as if you want to just make them quick and fast. There's the simple loop, or if you want to have them to be less irritating to people as far as having to reposition, just go the extra mile, put on a little seed bead and do a wrapped loop. And I think the more professionally presented pair of earrings up here where it doesn't just go round and round. I did all the rest of those just with the simple loop so that they would be quick and fast, and you can see how cute they are with the different colors. I have the lava stone here in the black. I've got the sodalite up here in the blue, some of the tiger's eye with the brown. Then I have some amethyst in the purple and the adventurine here in the green. So those are the main colors that I've seen. So the handy ear wires there, I am really glad that I got to replenish my stash. And then of course I have all of these beautiful little owls, and I've got all kinds of additional owls that I can make. And this is a really nice quality too of the owl charm in particular. It's not a double-sided obviously since the back is flat, but it's still a nice weighted piece. I'm really happy with the quality of those, and I'm looking forward to making several more. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share this with any of your jewelry making / owl loving friends that might be interested in these particular items from BeeBeeCraft. If you're interested in purchasing from BeeBeeCraft and would like to save 10% off of your purchase, then please use my little coupon code. I will have that in the video as well as in the description below for anyone that's interested there. They are able to still ship to us without having the additional cost and fees and all of the delays and all of that stuff at this time. So of course that could change tomorrow, but as far as right now, that is what they are saying. So that's good to know because I really like to order from BeeBeeCraft, and then of course I like to review these items for you as well. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and have a sparkle-rific day, y'all. Bye!